Okay, so today we'll look at things that IELTS examiners are always looking out for in your essay that usually perform magic that help to guarantee your excellent and high band scores in essay writing. A lot of people feel essays should be written by just bringing in casual words, by using their regular choice of words. On the contrary, IELTS expects a lot more than just casual words. So, what are they looking for? One, when you are engaging or when you're taking on your essay writing, there are things we call linking words. We also have advanced lexical resources. We have sequencers, and you must also bring in lots of synonyms. And avoidance of repetitions. Now, these 5 things on the board are usually turning points for IELTS test takers. If you're able to tackle your essay observing these things here, you definitely will be able to have a very nice delivery, and of course the resultant effect would be high band score. So let's begin with the linking words. In IELTS essay writing, you are expected to show off lots of linking words. But first, what are these linking words? What do you think they mean? What are linking words? Do you have an idea?
Words that connect to another sentence.
Okay.
Billboards, therefore, however, sometimes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, linking words, like you rightly said, are those words that connect, that join, that bring together more than one different ideas to become one. No, now in the context of IELTS essay writing, we are talking about linking ideas, not words this time, right? So they are words or phrases that join or connect two or more independent sentences or ideas together to become one. So linking words would help you to achieve what IELTS consider to be compound and complex sentences, because you must avoid dishing out short sentences. IELTS don't want you to keep dropping short sentences. So to achieve a compound or a complex sentence in your essay writing, linking words will just seamlessly help you to achieve that. So let's look at some of the examples of linking words. So we have the likes of however, therefore, hence, meanwhile, whereas, contrarily, While, on the other hand, etc. These are some advanced linking words you should bring in when you are writing an essay. They would help you to buttress your idea, the point you're trying to pass across. They would help you to also achieve compound and complex sentences with ease. And they would also help you to boost your performance in your essay score. So please, it's usually a magic factor in essay writing that boosts your performance. Now, the next thing right here on the board is what we call the advanced lexical resources. Advanced lexical resources in your essay writing covers vocabularies. It also covers appropriate terminologies that you should apply in the appropriate or in the right context. Now, let's understand what these advanced lexical resources entail. When you begin to write an essay, you are expected to identify the situation established in the question, and you are meant to either treat the question by way of or identifying certain reasons or factors and also proffering solution to the question. So to do this, you are expected to make use of the appropriate terminologies, dictions, the right choice of words that should help you to pass the right message you intend while writing an essay. For instance, you might want to say, prior to my birthday, my father and my mother had planned to travel to the UK on a short or brief holiday. Now, this is an expression that anyone can make. So it doesn't make you special or unique. It doesn't prove that you have in-depth understanding and command of the language. So IELTS therefore expects you to express this same information in a little more advanced manner. For instance, just before my birthday celebration or anniversary, my parents had arranged for or arranged to embark on a short trip to the UK, to the United Kingdom for a vacation. Do you understand the difference? Father and mother travel to embark on a trip. The UK, United Kingdom. So these are things IELTS expects you to bring in. Not just the regular words that are overly or commonly used by anyone. So they expect a lot more from you, especially for someone who is writing the IELTS test for the purpose of applying for general training test. You know, you are applying for general training tests to gain permanent residency, right? And then it is also meant for job, right? Now, it is expected that anyone coming to work in a particular country is already a graduate or experienced in the particular job you're applying for, right? So a lot more is expected of you compared to someone who is going for study. So such a person is considered to be open to learn more, right? Or learning more. So they don't place a lot of very strict emphasis or schemes when they are marking your scripts. That is the difference. So when you are bringing in lexical resources, of course, you are expected to make use of the right terminologies at each point in time to actually express whatever context you are passing across. You don't want to talk about the use of um, technological gadgets to aid a lot of day-to-day activities. For instance, you want to talk about telecommunication. So instead of using the right words, you are talking about gramophone. Of course, that was years back. Now, a lot of advancements have actually set in. So we are talking about the GSM, the handsets. We're talking about the um, internet communication means, right? Electronic mails, chat, having some chat via some social media platforms, right? These are advanced expressions you want to use when you're talking about telecommunication, right? So those are things you are expected. IELTS examiners expect you to show off a lot more of such advanced words. Now, you also need to understand, in as much as IELTS wants you to show off advanced lexical resources, you should be very careful not to misfire. You know what I mean by misfiring now?
Some words may not be appropriate
Thank
when
you.
you
Yes, exactly. Some words will be inappropriate in the context you are bringing them in. In English, it's called malapropism. The wrong use of a particular word in the wrong context. Secondly, in as much as IELTS is seeking advanced lexical resources, you should also try not to use ambiguous words so often. Because when you bring in an ambiguous word, you are giving the examiner options to choose from, as in to read meanings in the words you have brought in. Because in as much as ambiguity is concerned, you might have an understanding of a word based on a particular section, whereas the examiner has understanding of that same word for a particular purpose. So when you use it based on your own understanding of that word, and the examiner reads that word and uses his own understanding of the same word, you have just created parallel understanding. So to the examiner, it doesn't make sense, but to you, it makes sense. So you have just shot yourself in the foot. So please, always be careful to make use of the right words at the right situation or context. The third magic right here is what we call the sequencers. Now, what does sequencers mean? These are words. Sequencers are words or phrases that you bring in when you intend to start a paragraph, or you want to add more ideas or points to the same paragraph you've started. Sequencers are words or phrases that you use to either commence or begin a paragraph or introduce an additional point in the same paragraph. Sequencers actually helps you to arrange or organize your ideas according to how you want them to appear. So of course, when you want to begin a paragraph, if a question establishes or requires you to take a path, maybe the question says, do you agree or disagree? And you have had a deep thought. Yes, you've looked at the question. You've considered that it is better for me to go for agreement path, and you want to agree. Your first point might begin by saying, first and foremost, you begin to drop your point. You begin to write about it. Now, in that same paragraph, you want to add another point. You are saying what? Furthermore, Then after the furthermore, you talk, blah, 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 blah. You still want to add something else. You're saying, additionally, then you write. At the end of that paragraph, the next paragraph you want to begin, you can start by saying, notwithstanding, you may start by saying, on the other hand, there are different ways, but they are sequencers. They help you to organize your ideas. Right? So please, you have to understand and make use of this guy very well. So let's take some examples of sequencers. I've given you some, first and foremost. Furthermore, additionally, consequently, subsequently, nonetheless, notwithstanding, nevertheless, contrarily, summarily, conclusively, in light of the above, comparatively, etc. All right, so these are very key words or phrases you are strongly encouraged to bring in. Please, you should not ignore them. Don't take them for granted. They would help to turn things around in your essay, right? Now, synonyms. Synonyms. Of course, synonyms are words that mean the same thing but having different spellings, right? These are words that have the same meaning but with different spellings. In IELTS, this point here says avoidance of repetitions. The solution to this is this. The solution to this is this. So, the solution to avoiding repetitions in your essay writing or in any writing you are carrying out is having synonyms. So that when you make a sentence and you have choice of words here and you want to continue and add another point here, in writing the second point, to avoid repeating what you have written here, you can use their synonyms. So when an IELTS examiner reads whatever you have written here and reads the next point you're adding, they won't notice repetition of same words. So you really want to build vocabularies and have a great list of their synonyms. So to work on their synonyms, you are strongly encouraged to also understand the applications of those words, both in the written English and in the spoken English. Of course, I always encourage people, you can use Google. You can also use the artificial intelligence if you so wish. to get a list of words for your essay writing. And you should also understand that essay questions are not pre-established. You never can tell what your question would be. And you don't know what sector it would come from. So what you do, you should prepare for all. Don't limit, tell them you are busy. Tell them you are busy. Do not limit your vocabularies to a particular sector alone. Don't. So you want to be open. So how do you do this? Go to Google or go to the artificial intelligence, go to anyone you want to use. Search list of vocabularies for writing an essay on agriculture, list of vocabularies for writing an essay on sports, list of vocabularies for writing an essay on economy, list of vocabularies for writing an essay on transport, list of vocabularies for writing an essay on health, list of vocabularies for writing an essay on culture, on weather, on global warming, on fashion, vocabularies on accommodation, vocabularies on relationship, on families, on vacation. Just get different list of vocabularies for the different sectors of human endeavors. So when you get these vocabularies, you should engage those vocabularies. Use them to write essays. Because the more you get used to something, the more it becomes a part of you. And when you get these vocabularies, if you find words that you feel are turgid words, heavy sounding words, go and look for their meanings and know how best to break them down or know the best situations to bring them in. So that you don't just blow grammar anyhow. You should also look for synonyms of those key or advanced vocabularies you've just gotten. Look for their synonyms. Look for substitute words that can replace them in another context, right? So when you do that, you are getting ready for your writing, your speaking, and you're also preparing for your reading tests. Building vocabularies will help you to prepare for your listening, for your speaking, your writing, and the reading. Because when you go for your listening test, as you hear certain words, because you're already familiar with them, it helps you to easily flow and understand. But when you're not familiar with such words, when the word is pronounced, you won't know what it means. Now, when you go for your speaking test, it helps you to express yourself in diverse ways. It helps you to show off. It helps you to convince the examiners that you have good command of the language. When you go for your writing, oh goodness, you have different ways of expressing different ideas in your essays. When you go for reading, you are able to read the word because you're familiar with it. You can make sense and meaning out of the sentence that you've read. So please, it is important to build the vocabularies. Then, of course, it is a solution to this guy. So I don't need to talk about it. Just by having this, it will help you to avoid repetition, because a lot of people lose marks when they keep repeating same words in each sentence. So please, you must avoid it. Any words you have used in the first sentence and you want to repeat it in the second sentence, use a synonym. It helps you to avoid repetitions. So these are key information, key words, key expectations of IELTS examiners that turn or perform the magic for you and help you to hit the high band scores you desire for whichever application that you are filing. All right, so I will see you same time next